At some point while you're on the phone with your sister and walking around the woods, did you find something?
Yes, I stepped over a log and found the remains.
And specifically, when you said remains, what did you see?
Specifically, I found a human skull.
The community was paralyzed with fear when 22-year-old police officer Miles Bryant, entrusted with their safety, was accused of murdering 16-year-old Susana Morales. Her remains were discovered over 20 miles from Norcross in a forested area on February 6, 2023.
Now, he signaled you, and when you walked over there, what did you first observe?
There was a Glock 19 handgun underneath some pine straw.
Miles Bryant's firearm was discovered near the site, linking him to the case. After his arrest on February 13, 2023, several women came forward, accusing Miles of stalking and breaking into their homes.
I was shocked. I felt like it could have been me because he was the person at my door coming and unscrewing my knob and kicking it down and stuff like that.
This screen grab of a man in military fatigues from October shows the first time Bates says a neighbor's camera recorded him at her door. She says 2 other videos from December show him back there again, covering his face and pulling on the door handle, then again knocking.
The community was left in shock after a police officer, once seen as a protector, was charged with a horrific crime that forever changed the life of the suspect. Susana Morales had a magical voice and was a self-taught guitarist and ukulele player. Born on June 24, 2006, she lived happily with her mother, Maria Bran, her stepfather, Leo, her 2 older sisters, Jasmine and Jaleesa, and her stepbrother. However, those happy days were not to last. Overcome with grief after losing her daughter, Susana's mother, Maria, struggled to find words for her pain.
As a parent, there's nothing more terrifying than having your child go missing. But as a mother, a woman who has carried and birthed that child into this world, that is a pain beyond expression. And the devastation that follows the discovery that your missing child was murdered is unspeakable. For all the parents in this audience, pause right now and imagine the worst. Your baby goes missing for a day, 7 days, 14 days, a month, 2 months, 7 months, and then one day, police contact you asking for a DNA sample, and your child turns up in literal pieces.
Axel Zaragoza, Susana Morales' boyfriend, gave his testimony in court.
Did you love her?
Yeah.
How would you describe Susana?
She was really uplifting. She was nice to everybody. She was a really loving person.
Did y'all have a good relationship?
Yeah, we did.
July 26th, 2022, the day that Susana was taken, did you talk to her that day?
Yes, I did.
Kind of tell the jury about that day and your conversations with Susana.
She called me over the phone before she left to Kelly's house. And also, right before she left her house, she also called me saying that she was going to go out with friends to go smoke. And she'll call me when she get home.
On July 26th at approximately 6 p.m., we know that Susana Morales left her home on Santa Ana Drive in Norcross and walked a short distance to the Sterling Glen apartment complex on Indian Trail Road. There, she met with her friend for about 4 hours, and at about 10 o'clock, she began her trek back to her house. We know that between 10 and 10:30 p.m., Susana had an interaction with an individual and ultimately was not seen or heard from again.
This surveillance video captures the last moments 16-year-old Susana Morales was seen July 26th. She was walking home near Singleton Road and Indian Trail Lilburn Road after visiting a friend.
Something happened in between the place that we got the camera footage from and our neighborhood, and that's like a minute apart. So something happened in that little minute, and we just haven't been able to figure out what happened.
Jasmine defended her sister when the police suggested Susana might have fled home.
So we know that she's not out there because she wants to be. She will never do that. I mean, it's been over a month. It would have been like, so she would have contacted like her boyfriend, my mom, me, or at least. It's frustration of not knowing where she is, not knowing anything, you know? Like, all I ask sometimes is just, I just want to know where she's at so I can get her.
Susana's friends testified about the night she mentioned she was heading home from a friend's house.
So where is the ring on the 360 app showing that she is?
In the neighborhood right there, the Oak Lock Trace.
Do you know that neighborhood?
No, I have a friend who lives there, but I'm not very familiar with it.
That friend that lives there, was that a friend of Susana that she would go to?
No.
Did you know any reason why Susana would be at that location that night?
No.
And we see her, it says near Oak Lock Trace on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
What? And then it says since 10:30 p.m. yesterday. Tell us what those mean.
It says that her location has been there since 10:30 p.m. So like she hasn't moved since then from that area.
Okay. Again, you took this screenshot, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell us what we're looking at here.
That shows her driving from the front of her neighborhood.
Did Susana have a car?
No, Susana did not have a car.
Did she drive?
No.
Okay. Do you know at 10:21 p.m. Who she would be driving with?
No, I don't. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's okay. And we see that location that says Steve Reynolds Boulevard at the end. Can you explain to us from the white dot to the black dot up top what that means?
It means that she started at where the white dot is, the Steve Reynolds Boulevard. She started there, and then she ended where that black dot is. That's where the trip ended.
Susana's loved ones received Life 360 alerts about a potential car crash, followed by a sudden high-speed change in direction. After that, she was never heard from again.
This case was immediately assigned to our Criminal Investigations Division, who worked diligently on this case and followed up on a number of leads and tips. However, those leads and tips did not come to fruition. We know that on February the 6th, a citizen who was walking in the area of Drowning Creek Road and Highway 316 happened upon skeletal remains. The Gwinnett County Police Department sealed that crime scene. The Gwinnett County Medical Examiner took custody of those remains, and they were positively identified as having belonged to Susana Morales. The following morning, February 7th, we brought out a large contingency of police personnel and conducted a methodical and meticulous search known as a grid search. And during that search, we located a firearm that had been reported stolen on July 27th. This is the same day that Susana was reported missing. That firearm we traced back to a 22-year-old former Dorville police officer named Miles Bryant. Bryant then became a person of interest in our case. We continue investigating, and on February 13th, we secured warrants for concealing the death of another.
Miles Bryant was promptly called in for questioning.
I just play basketball. Sorry.
Nah, you get it. Man, we've been all over this complex.
Oh, man, you Dorville? Yeah.
How long you been with them?
2.5 years now.
You like it?
Yeah. So, yeah, when she first was missing, I was talking to the neighborhood team, stuff like that. I didn't really know anything. I don't really get to the school. I was watching the news, and my girl used to stay here. Literally just moved out, and pretty much it.
Yeah. Nothing. What are those neighborhood kids saying?
I haven't talked to them in a minute, but when she first was missing, it was like they was just with her, and they was joining on each other or some crazy. So
yeah.
I haven't heard anything actually. Like me and my girl was talking about it, stuff like that. So it was like it's just weird. They said she was walking home, and then she just, you know.
And that's what we're just out here asking questions and stuff. Like how many calls do you get like being courteous? None of us are courteous.
No, we get maybe like It depends. Like, I get stupid calls like noise complaints.
Yeah.
Noise complaints. And
Did you have to like come out and handle those, or?
yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes I come out. Sometimes I try to get West Side guys.
Yeah.
Come out, stuff like that. Sometimes I ride around and patrol.
Yeah. Hey, you do a lot more than some. I worked down in the South Precinct where I started, down in like Stone Mountain, and man, there was one courtesy officer, he wouldn't do a thing. Like, he was calling us for every little thing, man. It was ridiculous.
All right, so we just got some questions. We got to run over like some stuff. It seems like you're courtesy here, so you know kind of things what's going on.
Well versed in what's happening in the complex.
So you got some time for us to come up to our headquarters and just talk about what you see on a daily basis and stuff like that.
Yeah. That would be today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now? No. I'm actually finna head out.
Where are you going?
I have to go meet my girlfriend and I have to work later.
Okay.
Will I be out by the time work? Or?
What time?
4?
Yeah, it should be. I mean, like I said, we just got some questions that courtesy officer between you and the leasing office. You guys probably get calls all the day, and we're literally talking to everyone here. So we're just trying to document every. We got no lease, man. We're just trying to document everything. That's all we are.
No problem.
Okay.
You gotta come and talk. Can I drive there?
We'll drive you, man.
Yeah, we'll take you up there.
Yeah, you don't gotta waste your gas or anything and all that stuff.
Can I drive?
Count your gas, man.
Can I call my girlfriend later?
We'll call her once we get up there, okay? Right now, we'll just go up there. You got any guns or anything on you
No,
right now?
I don't.
You don't? No. Okay, can I pat you down just to make sure?
What's going on, man?
You're good. It's our policy, man. We just
I know how this road is. All right.
Yeah, you know how it is. We don't want to get our balls busted with the GDM and everything.
All right. You can get up front seat, all right, man?
In this particular instance, when you picked up the defendant, did you observe any manifestations that you just described that you might term, as a detective with the experience, signs of nervousness?
Yes, sir.
And would you explain what those were?
So almost immediately when we began talking to Mr. Bryant, his hands were almost uncontrollably shaking. His breathing was elevated. You can see his chest rising and falling. And then while we were in the car on the way, while we were continuously having a dialogue, he kind of leaned his head up against the side of the car and attempted or tried to take a nap.
The investigation is still ongoing, and if there's further charges in the future, those will be known. As of right now, it's still early in.
So you said you worked at Forsyth?
Yes.
Wait, how long did you work at Forsyth?
Maybe a year.
Okay. You go to school or anything? Like college?
I thought about it, but I want to get working, so.
Okay. So what do you want to do?
Me?
Police department?
I want to get like a crime suppression team, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
like lead it?
Yeah.
Nice.
It probably goes, not lead us, and then probably goes like CID.
Okay.
Detective.
What kind of CID stuff you want to do?
We just have general CID. I don't know. I know it's not breaking up stuff like that.
City agencies do that.
I want to do like maybe like burglary. For like that. I hate people who steal.
Yeah.
I like these.
Okay. So I know that your gun was stolen. Do you know if it was located or anything yet?
No, I haven't heard anything.
I haven't run it yet. We probably need to check that, see if it's still. But they would have called you.
I can't find my wallet. My holster's there. My gun and holster is never separate. It's we the people conceal holster. If I take it, I take the holster. I don't carry it free. So that's definitely missing. You want me to get the serial number for you real quick? If you don't mind. Yeah. Sorry about that. And if you run my tag, I'm the registered owner. I don't have my wallet, so I have my ID on.
No, that's fine. Do you think your wallet was in the truck as well, or?
I think so, because I didn't. The pants I had on yesterday, I took it in the house, looked through all the grocery bags there. I only went in the house, and I came out here and I ran around in there, but I'm the courtesy officer. And then last night, when my girl got back from, we did something, we came back. I drove around a little bit, and I needed to do patrol anyway. I drove around a little bit, see if I could find it. I didn't see it. It was dark in a little bit.
Okay. Anyway, I'll list it in the truck just to say it's on our report.
Yeah. I don't really care about the detective stuff like that. I just want to get on GCIC at least. Some person get caught on the side of the road with it.
No, I got you.
Yeah.
Did in your call with Mr. Bryant, he make any statements about how he wanted you to handle or investigate the report?
He stated that he just wanted the gun listed as stolen and that he didn't really want detectives looking into it.
Based on your training and experience with Gwinnett County Police Department, what were your thoughts when you heard that? Is that normal?
I found it a little odd that we had a serial number for specific property that could be returned to him, but he didn't want any follow-up done with this case.
Did you know her at all? Morales? Nothing? Nothing at all. Never saw her like playing basketball or anything with the other kids?
Never. I didn't recognize her at all. That is crazy.
However, Alyssa Marvin had a different perspective to share.
Had you ever had any personal interactions with the defendant before Susana disappeared?
Yes.
And can you tell us what those are?
So there was one time, well, there was multiple times he would drive by and, you know, he'll say hello and everything to everyone. And there was one time we were at the pool and it was me and Kelly. Susana came after, like towards the end before we left, but we were there at the pool and he came with his backpack and he had a drink with him and he had little shot cups and he had edibles and stuff. And he asked how old I was, and then when I told him my age, he like still wanted to talk to me but didn't talk to me because of my age. So he knew not to drink with me, but he wanted to drink with me before he knew my age. But he still offered the edibles. But then that was the interaction I had with him that night. And before we left, I believe it was the same day, we wanted to order pizza because, you know, it's a hot day outside. Someone wants to eat. And we wanted to eat and we was going to order pizza. He offered us to give us a ride to get pizza, but we said no because we're underage, you're grown, you know. So we said no to that. We ordered pizza. We went home about our day. That was like the one, like I could say face-to-face interaction, full conversation.
Since that time, our criminal investigators have been working this case continuously, and we have reached a threshold to where these charges have now been upgraded to felony murder and kidnapping charges.
Miles.
Yes.
This is where we're at, okay? And I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Your phone records are there. You made 2 phone calls 3 hours after she's last seen on camera. And your gun is found right there as well with your phone, where those 2 phone calls are placed. Help me out.
I understand where this is coming from.
No, I'm saying, I know you do, just help me out a little bit.
Yeah. No, I don't know what you're thinking, but no.
What would you think?
You think I have something to do with
No, I said, what would you think?
Oh, no, I get that part, but now my heart's beating, it's like, whoa, you know? I get that. That's almost like, hey, you know, stuff like that, but no, I never been like that, you know? I would never do something like that. I was actually on the phone with her, her and my side chick, like that, and I'm talking to them about stuff, that's it.
What's your side chick's name?
Avian,
that's the one that lives
Austell area.
You getting chased around by your girlfriend and then call your side chick to decompress.
Yeah, and then I talk to my girlfriend and end up meeting and stuff like that.
So, the phone records put you literally right there. And it's not your personal phone. You call her on your work phone.
Yeah.
Why'd you do that?
I think my personal phone was dead.
Okay.
But I have both their numbers, I just need to calm down.
It shows you in the woods.
In the woods? I never left my show. I don't think I was in the woods.
Cell phone data placed Miles near the location of Susana's remains on the night she disappeared. Records also indicated that his phone returned to the area later that morning, about an hour before he reported his firearm stolen.
My DNA or whatever.
We've done that. Soldier to soldier, cop to cop.
Yeah.
I told you I've looked into Susana.
Yeah.
I know what kind of friend she had. I know what she did, and I know how she was. Basically, we know you were there, but we need to figure out why and what happened. I don't think you're a bad guy. I don't. You weren't brought up here in handcuffs or anything.
Yeah, no.
So, and I have your back. That's what I'm saying. Like, you're like family. You know what I'm saying? We're all family here. I gotta figure out what happened.
Yeah.
Because there's no arguing if you were there, if you weren't, we know you were.
Right.
So we have to, I know that it was more than you were talking to your girlfriend, there was movement around there, so that's what we have to cover right now, okay? Tell me what happened, please.
I don't know. I literally was with my girlfriend, on the phone with my girlfriend, and that's it.
During testimony, Miles's ex-girlfriend, Abion Smyer, contradicted his story of that night and pointed out suspicious scratches on his truck.
In this case, I called the cause of death undetermined due to decomposition with skeletonization. I believe if I had had the intact body, I could have come up with a specific cause of death, but I'm limited based on what I have. The body is too decomposed. All I have is a skeleton. Because the circumstances, again, young female, this isolated area where it's far removed from where she was last known to be alive, and no personal effects, no clothing. As a medical examiner with 30 years of experience, if I were to see an intact individual at this type of a scene, first thing I'm going to think of is some type of homicidal violence, specifically some type of asphyxial type component, strangulation, suffocation, chest compression, things of that nature. Because if you have a nude individual, nude or partially nude, that better be, as a medical examiner, that better be one of the first things you're thinking about.
Though an autopsy couldn't be performed to prove assault, Miles's actions were motivated. Detective Angela Carter testified about her findings from Miles's search history.
I found photographs of him looking at the media coverage of Susana that had the pictures attached to them.
All right, now 396, what are we looking for here?
How are you ID by dental records?
And when did this search occur?
February 9th, 2023 at 4:04 a.m. UTC time, which would be February 8th, 2023 at 11:04 p.m.
All right. How long after the defendant searched for the camera footage from the Georgia Department of Transportation, and I'll try to put them both on the screen here, did he search for how was somebody identified by dental records?
A little over 10 minutes later.
And then lastly, it says record number 404. What is that search?
Gwinnett County teen found.
Michael Jones, a fellow inmate of Miles in prison, also testified against him.
Okay, and what conversation did you have with him about some of the details of what was contained in the discovery?
After a few days, after he read it, looked over it, he come back out and he said, "Well, I don't think I'm not gonna get charged for this. They ain't got nothing against me. There's no. It says right here plain. He says it says right here plain. There's no blood, no semen, no nothing. They can't. They ain't got nothing against me."
A former classmate, Alicia Bates, provided testimony that shed light on Miles's character.
I've known him since 5th grade. We grew up together.
She believes that Miles broke into her home.
Well, my neighbor told me that she saw Miles come into our community and listening to my door when I wasn't home and just trying to see if I was home, messing with my doorknob and stuff. She told me, and once she showed me the video of him, it was all alarming.
Then did you go out and get a firearm because of him?
Yes.
She stated that Miles became so aggressive that she feared for her life and reported him to his employer, the Doraville Police Department.
I don't think they took the matter serious because he was a cop. However, I do feel like if they did, Susana could still be alive.
She claims this stalking occurred both before and after 16-year-old Susana Morales went missing in July.
He was capable of it. When the officers asked me why he was trying to break into my apartment, I told them that I was scared that he was trying to break me.
Elisha Bates now believes her childhood friend, former Doraville police officer Miles Bryant, stalked her at her Snellville apartment last year. She believes this Ring video her neighbor gave her is Bryant, as he lurked around her door, trying her knob, wearing a hood on his head. She says he even broke in one time when she was not home.
Okay, Ms. Bates, we were talking about the last time on December 12th, 2022, the day after you had called police, and you said you saw him by your dumpster trash area in your complex.
Yes, ma'am. I saw him. I was walking to my car. I felt like somebody was watching me. It was pretty late, so I was alert. It's pretty dark.
Did you see a vehicle?
I did. I saw a F-150 parked by the dumpsters with a dark-skinned male standing outside with glasses on.
Okay, and what did you do when you saw that F-150 in the mail?
Hurried up and got in my car and locked the doors and called my boyfriend, or my ex-boyfriend.
And did you leave your complex that night then?
I did.
Did you, after then, that was in December of 2022, did you ever initiate any more contact with Mr. Bryant?
No, ma'am.
Did you hear from him any other time?
No, he kept texting me, but I never responded.
And again, since knowing him from 5th grade to today, did you guys ever go on a date?
Never.
Did you ever sleep together?
Never.
Did you ever express any interest in him?
Never.
Would she have gone there while y'all were talking, while you were driving around?
I don't know where she went. I think she was driving around too.
Okay.
Miles, I'm getting frustrated because I feel like you think I'm lying to you.
No, I believe.
No.
Really.
Because maybe I am wrong about you. Maybe I'm wrong. You also tried to get into a girl's apartment off Annistown.
Did not do that.
You didn't? Oh, your phone was just casually there too?
No, they had a whole investigation about that. I was there, but I didn't try to break in her apartment. She lied.
So what was you trying to do?
I was talking to her. Like we was friends. Like
You didn't try to open her door?
Me and my sergeant.
You didn't answer my question. You didn't try to open her door?
Yes.
Okay, I know. Why was you hiding your head?
It was raining.
Oh, it was raining. Where was your PC? You was wearing a gray jacket.
Yeah, because
that was a violation of six.
You're right.
Yeah, exactly. Because you didn't want anyone to see your hat because it has your name on the back of your head. Okay?
No, I didn't have a PC on. I swear.
I know exactly.
Yeah.
Because you didn't want people to see your name.
No.
Yes.
She knew exactly who I was. She knew who I was.
She didn't want you there.
She didn't ever tell me that. She never told me that.
Did she invite you over?
No.
You didn't. So you just show up to this girl's apartment and try to break in. That's how it looks, right?
Yeah.
So casually, you're just the victim in all this. You're just casually being in all these like victim situations where you're just casually in the wrong place at the wrong time. That's what you're telling me.
No, my sergeant did a whole investigation.
Miles, you gotta just take a minute, take a breath.
I am.
You gotta stop.
Hey, put me as a suspect in this.
It's okay. Take a breath. Take a deep breath. We need your help. We want to give this family closure.
I understand that.
Your gun's there. Your phone puts you in the woods. What can we give this family?
You're not a bad person, Miles. This is not just an effect on you, this is an effect on all officers everywhere.
I know, I'm not, it's not me. It's not me.
If you were me, what would you do?
I understand it, I don't know.
Tell me, what would you do? Tell me.
Investigate some more stuff like that, I don't know.
Like what?
I know you did your thing, you did your due diligence. It's not, nothing to do with that part. You can ask my girlfriend, nobody was with me. When she was with me, even before all that nobody was with me.
How do you explain your truck being parked in front of Susana's house a month after she went missing?
What you mean?
So do you guys use Vigilant? You know what Vigilant is?
Mm-hmm.
So it compiles, you got LPR cars?
Yeah.
So it takes every LPR car, and it takes all the LPR cars from like the repo people,
mm-hmm.
and it puts it into Vigilant, and we can research that.
Mm-hmm.
So doing our due diligence, your truck is sitting outside Susana's house.
Where does she live? I sit outside her house. Where does she live? Can you show me my truck?
Yeah, sure can. No, I can't. It's dead. Pretty sure I took a picture of it though.
Like just sitting there?
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know where she lives. God.
It's not a question about if it's you or not, because we already know that.
No.
But listen, it's a question about what happened, okay?
Sitting there. It's not.
It's a question about if you are a cold-blooded killer or if you made a mistake. That's literally where we're at right now.
Susana's family attorney, Alex Northover, states that the Doraville police failed to take timely corrective action.
There were multiple indications that this individual presented a danger. There was a previous allegation of stalking.
Alex Northover asserts that the city of Doraville should be held accountable, adding that he communicated with officials during the ongoing criminal and civil investigations.
Take responsibility for their role in this tragic incident and take measures to make sure that this doesn't happen again.
He suggests it's time to reform the process of recruiting new officers.
Increased hiring, screening procedures, adequate training.
Yet, more startling revelations are on the horizon.
While he was on duty and in uniform, asked her to utilize her cell phone because he needed to log into his bank. And instead of doing so, he accessed her videos and sent himself videos of conducting sexual activity on her phone. It is a danger to women in this community. He is has not upheld the oath that he took to protect and serve both the citizens of Doraville and the state of Georgia.
The jury viewed police body cam footage documenting Miles's interaction with a girl who returned home after being reported missing by her family in May 2022.
Something was happening to you. We're doing a rape or a missing person, then we find your body out there in the woods. Then what? Because I know you're probably strong and you're smart and you know say no to strangers, stuff like that. Nowadays, people don't care. People are my size, big, and just come snatch you up. You can scream, you can shout all you want, and they'll throw you in the back of the van and go take you, and your parents will never see you again.
This badge is supposed to stand for something. It's supposed to stand for the obligation somebody takes to serve and to protect their community. Every officer takes that sworn statement. It's on the side of police cars. They are to serve and to protect. That flag, the United States flag, means something. When somebody in the National Guard takes an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States and the laws of our country and the laws of the state of Georgia, it means something. But to the defendant, it meant nothing. He took those oaths, and as you've seen through the trial, violated them time and time again. He didn't serve, he didn't protect, he abused. He took his power, he took his badge, and he used that to violate the law. He used that to murder. He is a cop-turned killer.
Do you personally, Miles Bryant, want to testify or not?
No, ma'am.
The defendant has freely and voluntarily decided not to testify with a complete understanding of his rights. Has the jury reached a verdict? Okay, if you'll hand it to my bailiff. State of Georgia versus Miles Bryant. Indictment number 24B00156-4. Count 1, malice murder. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty. Count 2, felony murder. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty. Count 3, kidnapping. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty. Count 4, criminal attempt to commit rape. We, the jury, find the defendant not guilty. Count 5, false report of a crime. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty.
Defense attorney Tracy Drake addressed the press following the trial.
Can you give us a little bit of insight as to what you said during your opening and your closing here when you talked about the jury? You warned the jury they were going to hate Miles Bryant. You warned them that they would think he was cold and callous. And you said you didn't even like him much yourself.
Well, just because of the family not knowing for 7 months. You know, that's awful. I mean, I'm a parent. Any parent, you know, I cannot imagine what she went through. And Miss Maria was very gracious to me. I think y'all heard me say I don't like to approach the family, but, you know, I did give her a hug today to express my condolences to her because I know that must have been horrible.
Last question. What do you think the most damning piece of evidence the prosecution put forth that pretty much sealed your client's fate?
The Life 360. The Life 360. Of course, some of the other evidence was damaging, but I don't think if they had the Life 360 that they would have been able to really go forward.
Not the gun in the cell tower.
Not, because I think without the Life 360, it would have made it even more difficult to show arguably where she was picked up, where she went, the crash alert. I think all of that really bolstered their case to show that obviously that he did something to her.
It took over just 5 hours to reach a verdict, a moment Susana Morales' family had been waiting for nearly 2 years.
All we ever wanted was justice for what happened to her. And nothing will ever bring her back to this day. I still hope that I'll see her again.
I just hope that after today, you and your family can find some peace. That is what I wish for you. Hopefully, you will receive some peace now.
The world was stunned when a police officer sworn to serve and protect was found guilty of a horrific crime involving Susana, raising several questions. Did law enforcement fail in Susana's case by delaying public awareness? Were earlier stalking allegations against Miles Bryant dismissed because of his role as an officer? Was Susana's kidnapping and murder a calculated act or an impulsive crime? Like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more such content.